Hey everybody, Jake here, and today we're taking a look at all of my knives. Quick apology for the glare here and here. I had to use my wide angle lens, so this looks a little weird, and you can kind of see the glare. Normally that's cut out, but it's there. So I'm just going to go kind of one by one and tell you either why I bought it, where it came from, or a little story about each one, and whether I carry it. So let's go ahead and start right here. So this is just a little knife from Walmart. I got it because it was cheap. Like, this is after I've been into knives a while. I got it because it was a piece of crap. I know it is. You don't have to tell me. I never carry it. It's awful. Tip down only, which is just, you know, if you're left-handed, If you put this in your right pocket, though, there's enough play on this lock before it does anything to where it can stab you very easily. Like, you barely have to do anything and this comes out. But, you know. So it's plastic, some sort of stainless steel. I'm sure it doesn't actually tell you. It is 3/4 serrated with a tiny little bit of blade there. Has a thumb stud. It is a back lock. However, I can move this back and forth. So there's vertical blade play on a back lock, which is interesting because the whole lock itself moves. You can't take this apart. It is pinned here, and then the plastic is, I don't know, injection molded down here. There's kind of an injection seam. But yeah, it's rough. I do not carry it, like I said, just because it's awful. Me and my wife have been talking about taking a, well, we're going to Florida in August. I'll try to have videos off for you guys, by the way, for that, just in the backlog so I can upload them. But we're going to Florida in August, and she was talking about fishing, and I didn't want to take any of my good knives. And I don't have any knives in like LC200N or H1 or anything, so this is probably the piece of crap that's going to go with me. Just because I don't care if it gets messed up. Centering is just awful. It literally scrapes this plastic scale. I don't know how well you can see that from my camera. It doesn't look too great. But yeah, it scrapes the scale. It's a piece of crap, but it's there. Next up, we're just going to kind of go this way, I suppose. Spyderco Centofonte 3. This, of course I missed. Yeah. This is a really good knife. Just did a review on this. Go check it out. I love this thing. This is probably the knife that I carry the most, just because I'm not scared to hurt it. And you can see a little bit of clip wear there. It's not too bad. Ergonomics are great. Just go watch the review. It's fantastic. It's a great knife. It is a back lock, which is a bit of a demerit for me, but it's very, very good, and I like this knife a lot. This one I actually got just off of Amazon, because they were the last people that had it before the that had it at the old price before Spyderco did the price bump. So normally I'd recommend supporting your local knife store or Blade HQ, but when Spyderco did that 8% price increase, I'm not paying an extra, it was more than 8%, I think it was like $10 or something like that on this knife. I'm not paying an extra $10 for this knife when I can just go get it somewhere for $10 cheaper. That might just be me. Yeah. So I actually got this knife because it was from an anime called Durarara. There's a character that uses it in there. So that's the first knife that I saw, and I was like, I've got to have that. That's amazing. So that's why I have that one. But it is really good. Next up is this little, oh gosh, I think this is Grindworks. It makes this cleaver. The sheath is mine because it does not come with a sheath. I made this, so apologies for the kind of literal rough edges there. Is like the first thing I made when I started working with leather. Really, really nice wood handle. It has a Damascus blade. And you can kind of see the layers of steel here. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it's nice. It is purely a novelty. It does cut, but it is thick. It is super, super thick. Like, here, I'll show you the Spyderco Centofonte blade stock against it. It's literally like 3 times thicker than the Centofonte blade stock. It's great. I love this thing. Never carry it. Never have. It has a damn keychain hole up here for some reason in case you want to dangle this on your keys. It also has one here, which I could see being practical if you do have a sheath or make a sheath for it, like I did. So, you know, maybe I'll carry it one day, but I don't know why in the heck I would. But there's that. Next up, Benchmade Proper. My only slip joint, well, not exactly. It's my only full-size slip joint. Yeah, I love it. I was down in Atlanta. Me and my wife go there a decent bit just to because they have a lot of cool stuff down there. And we were coming back from Atlanta, and we made a stop at Going Gear. We were passing the store, and I was like, holy crap, I didn't know Going Gear was down here. Turns out that is their store. That's their only store. They're from Atlanta. Well, not Atlanta, but Georgia. I think it's like Smyrna or something like that. Could be wrong. But walked in, had like a $150-ish budget, and I was like, okay, let's see what we got. I took a look at the G10 Sprint run of the ZT 0450. Hated it. Just awful. Didn't like the 0460 very much. Just because the color of the red carbon fiber looked awful. That was just no. I looked at a couple other things, and I kept coming back to this. I had no interest in slip joints, but this knife, I love it. I carry this maybe once or twice every other week or so. Put a little lanyard on there just to get it out of my pocket. I'll leave this bit so I can pull it. Really wish I had a clip on it. I'd carry it a lot more if it did. Really, really good knife. Very thin blade stock. Feels nice in the hand. The only problem with this for me is it does sometimes feel like it's going to close on my fingers, but it's not too bad. One thing I love about this too is I hate nail nicks. They're just awful. So with this one, it's big enough to where I can pinch it and pull it out and open it. So this is a really, really, really nice slip joint that I really like, and I love micarta. That's just, it just feels so good. This is obviously a little darker than it is when you get it new. That's just from me carrying it. Next up, Real Steel E77. You guys saw this one with its crappy detent on the live unboxing that I did not too long ago. I bought this because it was 50% off, so I got it for like $15 or something like that. And it's not bad. As a flipper knife like that, it's awful. You can push button it, it opens just fine. My preferred way actually is with the thumb studs though, because it's very reliable and it feels nice. This is the Coyote finish with kind of a tan G10 and then a black wash blade. Never had a black wash knife, so I figured I'd try it. It does have a recurve. It's surprisingly useful. I hate the pocket clip on it because it's over this textured G10. And the screws raise up, you know. Yeah, I got this on the 4th of July sale from Real Steel. It's not too bad. I've been enjoying it so far. I haven't had a chance to carry it a ton, but it's pretty decent. The only thing that bothers me is that action from the flipper. That's awful. Next, Leatherman Skeld. This has a very, very special place in my heart. This is the only multi-tool that I had for a long time, and even now I don't really have any big ones just because this is enough for me. I'd been tempted to get this for a while. We were in, I think, Home Depot or something like that, and they had it on sale for $35, I believe, and I didn't get it. I just didn't. I don't know why, but Christmas morning that year, that was like November-ish. I think it was Black Friday sale. Christmas morning that year, we get up, start opening presents, and my wife had gotten me this, and it was great. I love this thing. If I could have only one knife off of this whole table, this is it. It's just so useful. The only things I really don't like are the serrations, which they're very shallow. You know, you can kind of get it cutting. It's great. It's fairly lightweight for a multi-tool. Has a carabiner clip with a built-in bottle opener, pliers, bit driver, all that stuff. I highly recommend checking out my review of this. It is very old, so it's probably kind of rough, but this is a great, great multi-tool, and I love it to death. It's fantastic, and I carry it with me everywhere I go, typically in my bag. This thing right here is what got me into pocket knives originally. So this made me start looking at knives a little bit more, just because I'd seen it and I looked it up, found out what it was, but it was way on my, that was like when I was in high school, it was way on my price range. It was like $60, and I was very, very broke. This was a gift from my stepfather-in-law, I guess, kind of, for my birthday. He saw I didn't carry a knife, and he's like, everyone needs a knife, so he got me this. It is a Tac Force Speedster. It is serrated, which is awful. The pivot's uneven. It's dinged out of hell. The clip snapped off. It's super heavy. So practicality, no, I never carry this. Not since the clip broke off, to be honest. But I will say this is what got me into knives, and I owe him a lot for that, because they've brought me a lot of just joy and happiness to carry and play with and fiddle with, and this is where it started. So it's beat all to hell now. I had carried it for a while, but it's got a very, very special place to me, which a lot of these knives on this table, well, not a lot of them, but about half of them do. Real Steel G5 Metamorph. Just got this one. Also, when I got the E77, much more compelling in my opinion. This is the soft gray finish. There's some issues with it for sure, but the pocket clip's nice. Very gentlemanly, very thin, very narrow. This is a freaking amazing knife in the pocket. It's awesome. I finally got the front flipping thing down, so that's nice. I can also kind of do it with this finger, which to me is a bit more fun because I can open and close it repeatedly. But, you know, very, very nice. Got this on their sale. Again, I think this one came out to like $30 or something like that. Maybe a little more. CRKT Folding Raisin. So I had seen, thanks to Nick Shabazz, you bastard, I had seen the Graham Folding Raisin. Looked at it. Amazing. Loved it. Went to go get it. They're only aftermarket and they're expensive as hell. So I was like, no, not gonna do that. So I was watching actually Frankie and Bird's channel, Birdshot IV, and they had mentioned this knife. I was like, oh, let me go look at that. It was discontinued. A couple months later, by the time I had actually started to look into it, it was back. And my wife was asking me what I wanted for Christmas. This is definitely something I picked up. I do carry it every now and then, very, very rarely. I covered that in my review. You can go check that out. But I do use it a fair bit. I love the scales. The clip is the best clip in my entire collection, bar freaking none. It's amazing. Very interesting blade shape. It is super heavy and super thick and very impractical in the pocket. But at home, oh, love that thing. We'll get to that in just a second. I guess I'll go and start with the ZT-0450CF. This, apart from the Centofonte, is probably the knife that I carry the most. It is a flipper and it has the best action out of my entire collection, bar freaking none. It's great. It's super smooth. I love the size. I can get a really good 3-finger grip on this. My pinky doesn't have much of anything to really grip onto, but it's nice. I've slowly started converting the screws to a titanium purple. I do need to buy the back spacers because they don't like the Joker theme going on. That's just stupid. So I need to swap out the pivot screw, that, and accidentally stripped out the lock bar screw trying to remove it. So that sucks. But, you know, it's okay. I'm trying to currently get a deep carry clip as well for this, just trying to find the right one. But I love this thing. This is great. It's super thin, it's super light, and it's just a freaking pleasure to play with, to open and close. The action's so reliable. When I've actually been trying to open this and get it open, it never misfires. Now, I can't intentionally misfire it, but I can intentionally misfire any knife on this table. So if you kind of, you know, you could do that. But if you're just trying to open it, even if it's just the tiniest little bit of force, it opens. So I love this thing. Every year, my wife, or my father-in-law now, I guess, that's such a weird thing to say sometimes, though, because it's strange to me that I'm married. My father-in-law lets us pick out some gifts, and this is one of the ones I picked out. And I purchased this from my local knife shop, Riverblade Knife and Fly. Great, great, great guys over there. They let me play with about 10 or 15 knives before I decided on this one. And it's just fantastic. I love this knife. It's so freaking great. Highly recommended. If there were any knife that I could tell you to buy off this table, it'd be one of these two. Just depending on your price range, because they're both just fantastic. Victorinox Classic. Just got this one not too long ago. Obviously, this is the smallest knife in my collection. But it's very, very nice. The knife blade itself is okay. It's probably the thing I use the least on here, though. I've had this for a couple of weeks now, and it's just great. The tweezers on it I use constantly. These things are amazing. Super, super helpful. I haven't used the toothpick at all. It just seems a little weird to me. I don't know. But I haven't used it. The file I do use a fair bit. The flathead driver, always useful. Scissors on this thing are probably what I've used the most. Just because sometimes you just have to have a pair of scissors, and I don't know about y'all, but I really don't carry around scissors very often with me, so that's generally something I don't have. Keychain clip is useless on this thing, and if you put this on your keychain, you're gonna have a bad time, because when your key is sitting here on your keychain, you go to open up this knife blade, it's not gonna work very well. But it's great. This thing's super light. It's super, super cheap. I think I paid like $13 for this off of Amazon. I literally got it because I wanted something very, very tiny that I can toss in my watch pocket. If you don't know what that is, that's the tiny pocket on your jeans. Kind of inside your other pocket. Toss this in there. It's super light, super thin, and it's very, very useful. Sparrow Dragonfly. So y'all saw the live unboxing of this one as well. Picked this up used off of Reddit for like 35 bucks. I really like orange, which is weird because a lot of my knives are black or gray, but that's just the color I can pick them up in, guys. It's not my fault. Really like orange. Ergonomically, this knife's pretty good. Don't really have anywhere for my two middle fingers to sit, but my pinky gets a decent grip, and my pointer finger gets a good grip, and my thumb does. So I can kind of really push them. But this is more of a light use knife to me. I really like it. Thin blade stock. Fantastic, fantastic clip. It's very short. Landed right on that flat, non-textured Spider Code logo. It's great. Love this thing. It also kind of fits in your watch pocket if you're looking for something small. Super, super light. It's quickly becoming a favorite of mine. Kershaw Launch 4. Pick this up also from Riverblade Knife and Fly. Always support your local knife guys and girls, because it's nice to have a local knife shop with you near you. If you're lucky enough to have one, try to buy their stuff, even if it's just a couple more dollars expensive. So I tend to go there first. This is my only auto, and it probably will be my only auto. I don't get the appeal of them. This particular knife is okay. Ergonomically, it's decent. I bought this knife for a very specific purpose, and that's because sometimes I do very precise cutting, and I like to be able to get down like this, and this is perfect for that. So that's what I use this for. I took off the pocket clip because the pocket clip is this freaking long, and it looks stupid on there. It's just it looks very weird because it's a vast majority of the knife is the pocket clip, so it's just not worth it. But this is pretty nice. Again, my only auto. I think this will be sticking around just because it's just so I have an auto, but it's not. It doesn't get carried much, especially now that the Dragonfly is here. The Dragonfly is wider, yes, but it has a nice clip, and it's thinner, and it's quieter, which isn't a huge issue, but most people freak out when you're, whipping out an automatic knife, even if it's this small. However, I will say one thing. This knife is great for opening packages and things like that. It's very, very small, not super light, but it's nice to have. This tin here, T-Mobile Tuesdays, they were running a coupon for this. You got like $15 off from this marketplace. I picked up this multi-tool for like $12, mini plier multi-tool from this company right here, Iron and Glory. I have no idea where in the hell that thing is because it is a huge, there's no advertising in my videos, I can say this anyway, but parental discretion advised. Huge piece of shit. This is awful. This is the worst multi-tool I've ever used in my entire life. It's garbage. It's one of those little oval ones where you kind of twist the handles and get the plier. It's trash. Don't buy it from them. Don't buy anything from them. Designed in Brooklyn, New York, probably not. Manufactured in China, definitely. It was garbage. Anyway, in here I keep a bunch of little knives. So let's go ahead and we'll just start with the Higi no Kami. This is my first and only friction folder. It's not great. It used to free swing the entire way, which was not cool for me. I wanted there to be a little detent, but there's no detent on this. So what I did was I actually crushed the scales using this guy. See how useful that is? Crush the scales together so there's a little bit of a detent now. You can see it does kind of drop out, but it's not a ton. I never carry this. It has no pocket clip and it is dangerous to me. Blade play is hilarious. It has vertical. Like, let's see if I can get this over the table so you guys can kind of see it. Like, it's great. It's hilarious. And obviously horizontal blade play because it's a freaking friction folder. If you're holding it in your hand, it does still have a little because the entire pivot rocks, which is also funny, but not really funny. It also has some, probably Chinese, actually. I don't believe that is Japanese. I might be wrong. My wife is going to kill me. Never carry it. Piece of crap. Don't buy it. Speaking of never carrying pieces of crap, this... Oh! Sorry. This guy is a... okay. So obviously I love camo, right? And I do a lot of hunting and camo and tactical things with all of my tactical camo knives. But this one is a real standout. I picked this up off of eBay because of how much of a value it was. This invisible knife only cost me like 73 cents. It's great. Now, I mentioned this is only slip joint. That's true because this is a tactical slip joint because it's invisible and it has a black blade, which is basically invisible in itself. This knife has a lot of cool things. The tip is silver, so they know when you're going to come after them and get them. You know who I'm talking about. Those. The pins are not flush with these scales, and they're kind of sharp. The action is very, very difficult. Only the strongest of people can open and close this knife, so it's great if it gets taken away from you. It is by far the thinnest blade stock and thinnest knife that I own. I'll show you here. So let's compare it to the Centofonte 3. Look at that. Look at that thickness. That's ridiculous. This thing's insane. Blade stock? Psh, please. Look at that blade stock. Look how thin that shit is. It's crazy. So this is where it's at, the invisible knife. It's great. They trick you, though, when you go to buy this knife. They don't want you to know its tactility. I think that's a word. And the advantage of having an invisible black-bladed knife. So they show a lovely woman cutting fruit with it. Now, granted, it looks a lot bigger. I don't know if my hands just make it look tiny, but in there, it seems like she's getting a nice 4-finger grip. I can get 2.5. And she's really going at some fruit with it. That's a joke. This is a masterpiece knife, and if you are into tactical espionage tactics and subvert covert operations, this is what you want to get. Invisible handle, nice pins that will damage the hand of anyone not using tactical gloves with it, and black blade with a nice shiny grind, and then a nice shiny tip so they can actually see when their end is coming. You know what I'm talking about. This does have a nail nick, which is only used by chumps, because I think you're going to rip your freaking nail off if you try to open this thing with it. Let's try. Good lord. Yeah, it's, this, I never carry this, because once this has been drawn from its handle, okay, I can't get it open anymore. You know where I was going with that. Next up, Gerber Zip. I don't remember the name of this thing. I'm sorry, guys. It's a Gerber. It's a little thing. You can detach it from this after putting this on your keys or something like that. I don't know what you do with it. It has a blade. It has like 90% lockup. I will go on record saying this is by far the smallest knife blade I own. The only thing I think that may compete with it is the edge on this. Nope, this guy's longer. Look at that. That's crazy. It is a nice Warncliffe blade. Ergonomically, it's great if you like holding your knives with 2 fingers. If you take that off, that's all you got. If you leave this on, however, that little bit of plastic does kind of give you a bit more grip. I don't know why I bought this, and I wish I could tell you, and I'm a bit ashamed that I have it. But it's there. It's there. This one you do unfortunately have to use the nail neck on. You cannot pinch it open because of this, which is probably the thinnest frame lock I've ever seen in my entire life. And it has this bright green, so you can find it easily. This used to live on my keychain. This is the Kershaw Center. Oh, I normally have keys on it and I can flick it open, but there we go. Look at that. This is a pretty decent knife. Also, it's really cute because it looks like a little lizard or a turtle or something. Look at that. See the mouth and the eye? This is extremely useful. Ergonomics are actually pretty decent on it, to be honest. I can get 3 fingers on this, which is great. One there, and one there at the end. Get your thumb on it. Do some really good cutting. And I know what you're thinking. Jake, is this knife longer than the Gerber zip thing? And yes it is. It's quite a bit longer. Look at that. You can also currently see the chip in the blade from there. Hold on a second. One of these is magnetized, and I think it's this one. Hold on, that's great. Yep, this blade's magnetized. Yep, it's definitely the blade. I wish I could show you guys this. It's great. That's just beautiful. This knife just got 100% better to me. Anyway, yes, it is longer. Perfect keychain knife. Put your keychain ring right here, and go to town. No, but in all seriousness, this is great. It's very easy to open. You can kind of slip your thumb up in this little groove and use the thumb stud to open it. It's super useful, super small, super light. You can easily close it with one hand. And it has a built-in bottle opener, which is always really, really nice. And it's turtle face. Or lizard. I don't know what you guys want from me, but I think it's a turtle. Yeah, this is honestly probably in my top 10. This is a great little knife. Maybe even top 5. I don't know. We'll find out at the end of the year. Great little knife, though. Also, in here, I don't have it with me, and I apologize. I have an Essie Azula out in the car. It just rained and it's a little damp, so I'm not going to go get it. Oh, look, you can see my light. Look how reflective that is. That's crazy. Anyway, Essie Azula, this is a very decent fixed blade. I like it a lot. This is a little card that comes with it. Has all kind of useful little things. This should probably be in my wallet. That's probably going to go in my wallet. I'm just going to leave that there. Kaiser cutlery. Okay, so I used to have a Kaiser. If you go back in my review videos and watch, I did used to have a Kaiser. It was wonderful. It was the Kaiser KI314- that's probably all wrong. I don't know. It was a Kaiser, and it was very decent, but there were a few things that just pissed me off about it. It had a non-standard pivot, etc. It just, when I say non-standard, I mean you couldn't open it at all. There were no holes for opening. It looked basically like this one does, where it's this weird kind of triangular thing on both sides. Yeah. It was okay. Too grippy, the pocket clip was too stiff, etc. Used to have that, and also somewhere my wife claimed my Spyderco Introvert, and I have no idea what she's done with it. It's been missing for like 6 months now. If you know where it is, please help. Okay, on a bit more of a serious note, this is the last knife that I have to show you guys. This is my Millet Orient. This was a very strange departure for me. Up until that point, the most expensive knife I had bought was actually the Booze Blades Aero Mini, which is gone now. It was to fund this guy. This is a little bit difficult to talk about. So I ordered this when like the day it launched, but I bought the Damasteel version. Now, my wife was at work, and I called and told her on her break, and she was very mad. And then I was like, okay. I will return the Damasteel version, and I'll get the regular version for $375. And she was like, okay. Well, by the time they had finally shipped out the forms and everything, I had kind of decided what I wanted. I wanted a kind of bluish green body, which to me from their pictures looked like the high voltage blue, and I wanted a bronze finish. This is what I got. It's not necessarily colors I want. I'm actually currently in the process of seeing if I can get, you can see there's like some purple tones on this, especially on the highlights and stuff. I'm currently seeing if I can get a overlay, backspacer, and clip in purple to kind of swap this out, and I'll probably sell the bronze, I'm not sure. But this knife is a little difficult for me to talk about, and I don't carry it as much as I should, because by the time this actually came in and everything, it was right around the time my mother-in-law passed away. And she was an extremely special and important person in my life, and I wouldn't be where I was right now without her. They helped me a lot, and this knife is just associated with that time in my life, and it's difficult. I've considered selling it a lot, but I don't think I will. At a more technical and lighter-hearted note, this knife, the attention to detail is just amazing. You can see the pocket clip pattern mirrored in the blade when it opens up. They both line up. It's great. The milling on this is fantastic. I don't know how well you can see it, but there are milling lines all throughout this. It's gorgeous. The knife is super smooth. It flips open pretty reliably. The detent is a little weak, but also you can middle finger flick it, which is the best way to open this knife. So Dr. Franke put up a review recently of one where he could get his thumb in the thing, and I can kind of do that, but I don't see that practically working unless you get like this, pinch, and then push, and then you can do it. But this knife is beautiful. It works like a freaking dream. It is super expensive because of the upgraded price of the overlay and the clip, back up to $500. Shh, don't tell my wife. No, she knows. But it's amazing, and I love it, and I just need to get over the memory that's associated with it, and I think I'll be able to carry it a lot more. That's it. Those are all the knives currently in my collection for the most-ish part. These are all the ones I could round up and find, at least. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask me. I may do another update after a while. Some things are probably going to get added. I don't think too much is going to get removed. I'll probably give this away to one of my friends, who I think would appreciate it quite a bit. I don't know how long. I think this will stick around, but if not, it might get sold. But thanks for tuning in, guys. And if you watched this far, thank you very, very much. I hope you've enjoyed this, and about the time this uploads, there should be another one uploaded of my fountain pen collection. Well, not just fountain pens, but my pen collection. So if you're into pens, feel free to check that out. I think you guys will enjoy that a lot. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I hope you all have a very, very good day. And, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, all that YouTube crap. But, try to have a good day. Thanks, guys. Bye.